Welcome to SilverNode Devlog 001. This is the second one because we started as 000, of course. And in the devlogs, we will show you what's been new in SilverNodes since the last one. If you don't know what SilverNode is, I'll give you like a 2-sentence introduction. It's a raw photo editor that's focused on speed, and speed in terms of the entire workflow. So everything you're doing, from importing your photos to exporting them and giving them to a client, we want to optimize that whole process because we were so frustrated with the current software that's available on the market that's just like incredibly painfully slow. And
I want to point out that one of the things we're trying to do is, you said importing is just skipping the importing step.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you might see that sometimes we do things like this feature maybe doesn't completely make sense when you're trying to go quickly, so we can actually just do it without. So, we're trying to really challenge the way we are used to doing our photo editing, so it just is a lot more, a lot less painful, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the main idea. Yeah. So, cool. As an additional note before we really start, I got myself a new processor, the AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, which is quite a bit faster than the last generation that I previously had, and it really shows that how fast SilverNode can be and how fast hardware can be if you have good software running on it, which I think SilverNode is trying to be here.
It doesn't mean that SilverNode is slow. It means like if you combine really good software with really good hardware, then it's just like it's insane. It's like crazy.
That's the effect we're going for.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Handmade Network for letting us join them, because that's exactly like the community we're that should support this kind of work. Like, good software and good hardware is an amazing experience, and that's what we're going for. So, but now that you know that we have or at least I have a new processor on the machine we're recording and streaming from, you will see the speed of SilverNode is quite a bit faster than it was in the last devlog video, because that was recorded on Marcel's computer.
Yeah.
So let's change.
You say my computer is...
No, but it's fine. It's a good check for us to keep everything fast.
I should try it on my €100 laptop.
I'm literally, you're joking, but I'm keeping old hardware around to make sure I can test it.
Yeah.
So let's switch to the live view here. And as soon as you will see SilverNode, it will immediately start loading these photos, which are 24 megabyte raw files each. So there's no thumbnail caching going on. It's just from scratch, loading the files. There we go.
This is just so crazy fast. I'm used to it on my computer, and I think it's fast, but this.
Yeah, so it's done. It loaded the entire 199 photos. Oh, 200 photos. That's a funny thing. You made the sequence counter start at 0. I like that.
It was not on purpose, but...
Nice surprise.
Voila.
So, let's look at our agenda. What's feature extraction? So, in order for you to do the least amount of work possible, the software SilverNode should help you as much as possible with editing your photos. And we made our very first step towards that. So we want to have an auto edit feature that is really smart, that knows what you're doing, that is like completely different from all the other auto edits you've seen. And one of the first things we're doing here to make that happen is, well, it should look at the photo and know what's going on, know what's on the photo to help you decide what the edit should be. So, and as you can see, the first two pictures I'm seeing here have the first one is really dark. That was the first photo I shot on that photo shoot, and then I saw, it's too dark, and then I fixed the exposure of my camera for it to be brighter. But then if we go into the first photo and we hit the auto edit key, which is Shift E currently, which is a horrible key binding, Um, but I do that, and you see it corrects it. But then if I go to the next photo and I hit Shift E there, it also corrects that, but by no means the same amount. They now look pretty much identical in terms of luminance. So if you go back to the grid view, you can see indeed those are both edited. A nice thing to notice here as well is that you can do this feature right from your grid. Of course, the only thing it does right now is set the luminance and the white balance. But of course, it should do way more like contrast and all of the other features you would want to use while editing.
Yeah. Maybe just to be clear here, we're not trying to replace the photographer in this process. So I think what you see right now is that there's two sides of the spectrum. There's like the consumer side where like tools try to do a lot of processing automatically and try to give you a finished product. And then there's like the pro space where you have to do it all by yourself. And we're trying to give you as a professional the tools to go faster, but still do your own thing. So we will not try to replace the editing part, but we will try to learn from what you are doing. We will try to adjust it so that like what you are trying to do, you can actually do it faster.
Yeah. Yeah, like the auto edit system we're currently envisioning should be able to deliver an experience very close to you. Open the folder with photos, it does its feature extraction thing, it looks at the photos, decides what it should do with them, and then pretty much you're done. And like if you're not satisfied with the results, you start tweaking the photos, you start adjusting that, and it will automatically transfer what you did to the other photos that you haven't touched yet, such that like it learns from what you're doing. And then with that comes like a confidence of the auto edit. Like, yeah, I wasn't really too sure what to do with this because I have conflicting information. This feature suggests me that the photo should have more contrast, and this feature suggests that it should have less contrast, things like that. And like if it has a lot of conflicting information, the confidence of the auto edit will decrease. And then you should be able, it's not possible right now, but you should be able to like sort the photos on confidence. And then you can see all of your glorious photos in the beginning, and then the worst photos should go towards the end, which should make the selection process also easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the auto edit, I think. Let me just demo how fast this is, because like I mean, these are 25 megabyte raw files. I'm not editing them, of course. I'm just copy pasting the results from the last photo, but
it is adapting the settings. It's not a pure copy paste.
It is a copy paste because I'm not hitting the.
You're just pasting it.
I'm just pasting. I'm not running the auto edit. Yeah, the exposure was pretty consistent during this photo shoot. This one is too bright, you would say. So let's try and dim it down. So yeah, that's what it did with it. Maybe it's too dark to my taste here. By the way, I thought I lost these photos. It was a photo shoot I did a couple of years ago with this friend of mine. And I thought I lost them, and I was like super disappointed. But I recently found them back. And I've been using these to test SilverNode. Yeah, if you want to follow her on Instagram or anything like that, we'll put something in the video description.
Nice.
Yeah, what's next? The new tile design.
Voila.
Yeah, go ahead.
Voila. So if you probably saw in the grid that the photos over here look a bit different. That's because we've been working on tweaking what this layout looks like, just to make it a bit more pleasing and useful. And we've kind of been playing with which information we want to show here, because it's very quickly that it ends up showing you a lot of stuff that you maybe not need. It's something that we also see in other softwares where there's like a lot of stuff around your photos, and maybe you just want to see. I just want to see what pictures are in there. I don't want to waste any pixels on my screen. So that's a bit of a challenge. We're really tweaking this back and forth all the time. But I think what it is right now is it's very clean. It's really focused on the photo, and yeah, now I kind of like it now.
Yeah. Maybe you could even get rid of the sequence number again.
Yeah.
Or at least make it toggleable. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we should make these things UI toggleable, because probably in some cases you will want the sequence number, and in some cases you don't want them.
Yeah, I remember wanting the sequence number. From my photo editing experience, but it's basically because you leave your work at some point and then you're like, oh damn, I gotta go back to another photo to look at something or copy some settings, I don't know, and then go back, and then it was like, yeah, you have 1,000 photos in the folder. How are you gonna find it back? You look at the sequence number.
Yeah.
Who knows? Also, maybe Vim users might use like position history.
Yeah.
We haven't implemented that, but that would be a possibility.
That would be interesting. Yeah. We just continue on. We've also added a few features to the grid view. That is the rating system and a rejection system. So now if you press your number keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 0 actually, you can give each photo a star rating. And if you press the X button, you can reject or unreject a photo. So that allows you, that's a start to help you classify your photos. We don't have any filtering yet at this moment, but it is saving that information background to the photo. If you reopen SilverNode, that will of course return.
Oh, like this.
I think these are like this. Yeah,
there they are.
Small things that you really need. That's rating and rejection.
Yep.
The last one here is the split toning.
Yeah, and for that one, I'm going to open a different folder of photos because I tend to have a bit of trouble with this photo set in terms of split toning. Yeah, so I spoiled it. Split toning, color balance wheels, whatever. They're right here on the bottom right. By the way, this is the first time I touched my mouse to do something with the cursor, because everything else was with the keyboard. Let's reset this photo because let's see where it came from. Let's see if the auto edit does something. Yep, it does. Add some contrast, maybe a bit warmer, I don't know. Yeah. And then, I don't know, go creative here. Push the color of the shadows into a direction. Maybe purple. It's a party. I don't know. And then like some vintage highlights. Like that. Maybe a bit more contrast. I don't know, yeah. I'm not a real expert in using these, and to be honest, I'm not super sure if the way they behave right now is going to be the final way of behaving. Probably
in any case, I think it's different from what split tuning usually does. But I think for me at least, from playing around with it, I like it. I like the fact that it's, for example, if you change the color of the shadows, it doesn't make your shadows brighter. Which sometimes happens.
Yeah.
If you do, and I'm like, no, I don't. Just let the black be black.
Yeah.
Here it doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed. I implemented this yesterday, and I tried indeed to make sure that didn't happen. I think we succeeded.
Oh.
So yeah, as I said, I'm not an expert in doing this split toning thing, but like, let's see if we have one more photo to demonstrate this on. Let's reset this, rotate it right, and then auto edit like this. I don't know. Let's change the color of his face. Green. Beautiful. The shadows slightly towards purple, and the highlights.
I see what you mean by the beard turning
the beard
green.
I told you, like, if you try to fix the face in terms of white balance, the skin tones, I usually tend to make the beard green, which then would be an easy fix with the shadows slider. Like, a lot of times my photos end up like this if I fix the skin tones, which is horrible for the facial hair.
Yeah.
But like now with this, I can kind of push this back. We still would have to decide, like, or make it tweakable at least, what is being interpreted as shadows, midtones, and highlights, because now it's fixed. That should be adjustable.
Yeah, a bit more control over how much of the picture is considered a shadow or a highlight, or what's the center.
Okay, so I think that's it.
Voila.
Let's see. What does my timer say? We're at.
Oh, we're good. We feel like under 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's good.
So, thank you everyone for watching. If you would like to follow this, if you want to stay up to date with all the things we're building, if you want to be one of the first people to try it out, maybe, then make sure to subscribe to this channel, because this is where we upload everything. And also fill in your email address on our website, silvernode.io. That way we can just directly contact you when we have anything exciting to tell. We will not spam you. We don't like to do that. And honestly, we like to spend our time making this instead of emailing.
Yeah.
But you will sometimes get an email from
The truth is, we haven't sent any email yet, so don't be afraid. And if you liked it, please also consider not only subscribing to the mailing list, but also to the YouTube channel. I think we will try to keep doing these streams live instead of pre-recording it.
Pretty well.
Yeah, I think I like this. And it's edited straight away. That's good.
And of course, like it and comment if you find it interesting, because that helps us get a bit more exposure. If you have any friends that you think, they might like this, feel free to send it over to them.
If you have questions, just drop them in the comments. We do read them. If you have things you want to share, or because this is a sort of like a once in a lifetime opportunity, I think. If you have been frustrated with photo editing software and you want to see a certain feature, just tell us. We might implement it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Voila.
So we'll wrap up here.
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon next time.